Greetings, Dan Daniels here. This is a demonstration of how to convert a simple CSV into an SQL file using Visual Studio Code with the help of Copilot. Now, this was inspired by the code I saw at Geeks for Geeks, so credit to them for their help. Now, let's go ahead and get this started. Again, we're going to create, and I'm going to use the commands that make sense. Create SQL from CSV, and I'm going to also import. I'm going to import required modules like that. And now let's see what happens. Import CSV. Now that the gray text there is GitHub Copilot. Import CSV. What else is it going to suggest? Import sqlite. And what else is it going to suggest? I hit the tab key. Nothing there. I'm going to import multi-processing connection. So from multi-processing, import connection. All right, I like that. And now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and create the database. Create a database. I'm going to be very specific. I'm going to create a. I'm going to call this phrasal verb, because that's what I've been working on. Phrasal verb database. And there it is. And now it creates it. Con equals connect to phrasal verb DB. I like that. And now I'm going to create a cursor object. There it is. Create cursor to execute SQL commands. Very good. I like that. And now it's going to give me C equals con cursor. I'm going to go with that because con is already declared. Con is right there, and con is declared there. So we're good. Moving on. Now, this is where it gets fun. If I do this correctly, then GitHub Copilot should create all of the necessary SQL for me as well. So let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. And I'm going to first define the table. And next, I'm going to set the ID as primary key. See the gray text? I just accept that. Now, in this case, if we look at the file itself, phrasal verb, comma, usage. It's a very simple CSV. Do not get too excited about it being too small or too big. This is a demonstration. You will have your own databases, but this is a demonstration. So the ID is the primary key. Phrasal verb. Phrasal verb is the column name. Is the first column name. I'm going to be very specific. And we're going to go ahead and say phrasal verb. And we're going to make sure that it is a text. Phrasal verb is text is the data type. There, text is the data type. We like that. And it's not null. So phrasal verb. Phrasal. I can type. Phrasal verb is not null. All right, I like that. And let's go ahead and describe the second column. Usage is The second column name, the gray text, is copilot. Usage text is the data type, yes. And hopefully it's going to, yeah, usage is not null. So with all of that, we have created the table. Now, if you've spent any time creating databases, you know playing with databases requires you to delete the table if it exists. So let's go ahead and delete the table if it exists. Very good. See how it does that? And now C, execute drop table if it exists. Very good. I like that too. Hit the tab to accept. Now let's scroll down. And you can see that Copilot is already prompting me to create the table. I'll accept that and then give it a second to wait. Now down here you see that I am connected, and you need to make sure that it's connecting to the internet in order for this to work, because I noticed that Copilot stopped working on me. I didn't understand why. It was because my internet connection had been dropped. All right, so now we're about to see execute create table phrasal verb. I like that. And now I hit tab again. And now it's going for ID as I'm going to hit the enter key and accept all of that. Alt Z so I can text wrap to see what the heck is going on. And since this is Python, I can do this to make it easier for me to figure out what is going on. And all of that pink text right there at the end, all of this, in fact, was created by Copilot. So that looks good. Create table, phrasal verb, ID is a primary key, which is what we declared up here in the comments. And phrasal verb text is not null, and urge usage text is not null. And you can see it's also picked up the data types as well. All right, so I like that. And now let's go ahead and, well, I think we can go ahead and execute the creation of the SQL. So let's give the comment execute SQL. Okay, I'll take that and see what happens. I should get a con commit, which I do. I'm happy with that. Moving on. Now, all of this is already done, and I am now going to open the CSV. So let's open CSV file. I'm going to set the encoding to UTF-8. This is very important because if you, at least for this file, I had troubles in the past. UTF-8 seems to fix it. So with open, let's see, we should get, with open, we should get some suggestions here. Okay, so with open, phrasal verb CSV, UTF-8 as CSV, line count equals 0. I don't think I need all of that. Do I have an execute in here? It looks like it's okay. So, oh shoot, you have to be careful with the tab completion. If you click anywhere else aside from the tab, it won't actually do what you need it to do. Now, phrasal verbs is not the name of the file. The name of the file is tocall. So let's go here, and I installed an extension that automatically picks up file names, a huge time saver. Hopefully it works. To, and then I hit the control tab to control space to complete. It's not completing. All right, so let's try that. Okay, there it is. So I hit the slash key. Now I know from previous adventures down this road, if I include the slash, it will not work. Okay, Um, so it looks like it has everything I need. Skip the first row. Yep. It's going to loop through each row for row and CSV Reader. It's going to insert the data into the table, execute, insert into, and that looks good. All right. I'm actually quite pleased with this. Execute. Now, I want to go ahead and I'm going to execute. I'm going to I'm going to make sure that the SQL query is going to work. So let's go ahead and type SQL query to select all data from table. Yes, all right, I like that. And now, okay, and SQL select from phrasal verb. Yes, I like that. Select all from phrasal verb. And now let's go ahead and execute the query. And that should give me cursor equals C execute. Very good. Yeah, okay, so you can see that it's just picked up a very simple SQL. And let's go ahead and fetch all records from the query. I like that. And now let's get the results. Records equal, okay, yeah, all right. I'm going, and now let's print loop, okay, limp through each record for record in records, okay, for record in records, yeah. Print, it should give me a print statement. Print the results, record. I like that. And now, finally, we should go ahead and commit our changes. Commit the changes. Connection commit, okay. And finally, we're going to close this connection. Close the connection and close connect. All right, so Control S to save, and now hopefully it's all going to work. We're going to find out here in a moment. Control F5 to run it. And cannot operate on a closed database. Okay, so it picked up the first two lines. Line 62. Line 62. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the database open. Maybe I need to, just to see if this works, all right? Just to see if it works. Control F5. There it goes. Okay, so it worked. I'm not quite sure why I'm getting the connection error, but let's take a look at our new phrasal DB. And if I scroll down, I should from the phrasal DB, I should get an option to view phrasal verb DB. I should get a viewer option with my extension, which is sqlite right there. That should work. It is enabled. I should get a viewer option here, but it's not showing it to me, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm a lot disappointed. Uh, it should have worked. Let me see if I want to open it anyway. No, it's not going to show me anything. All right. Well, the point here is it mostly worked, except for this last part with the connection. Don't know why. And the phrasal verb DB should have opened up with SQLite, and it didn't, and I don't know why either. Let me just make sure I'm using SQLite. Yeah, it is SQLite 3. It should have opened up. All right. Thanks for watching, and happy computing. I'll put the this file as a gist in the description. Thank you.